Millions of people are putting 2 drops of castor oil under their tongues before bed, convinced it's transforming their health overnight. I know you've probably seen this everywhere on TikTok and YouTube. But wait, how true is this? If you've tried it, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into what castor oil can actually do for your body versus what TikTok promises it will do. No judgment, just real research and honest answers. Because when it comes to your health, you deserve the truth. Real talk, real wellness, real results. Let's get on with it. Set up the craze. Now let's talk about what's happening right now across social media. You've probably seen the videos. Influencers rubbing castor oil on their belly buttons for hormone balance, or wellness gurus promoting overnight liver detox packs with nothing but a bottle of golden oil and some flannel cloth. The castor oil craze is really exploding right now because it hits all the right psychological buttons. It's natural, which feels safer than synthetic alternatives. It promises quick fixes for complex health issues, and it's backed by compelling personal testimonials and those satisfying transformation videos that make you think, maybe this could work for me too. Not just that, there's also something deeply appealing about the ancient meets modern narrative. Castor oil has been used for thousands of years, so when modern influencers package it as a rediscovered secret, it definitely feels timeless. And honestly, it disarms our natural skepticism by positioning castor oil as the benevolent, traditional remedy rather than another internet health fad. But here's where things get really interesting. Just because something has been used historically doesn't mean every modern application is scientifically sound. And just because someone has a compelling before and after story doesn't really mean castor oil was the active ingredient in their transformation. There's more behind the scenes that you're probably not aware of. Break down the claims. So, let's examine the biggest claims one by one, starting with the most viral. Claim 1. 2 drops under the tongue before bed detox your organs. This is probably the most widespread castor oil claim right now, and I need to be very clear. There is zero peer-reviewed scientific evidence that putting castor oil under your tongue detoxes your organs. Absolutely none. Here's what castor oil actually is. It's an FDA-approved stimulant laxative. When you consume it, it works on your intestines to promote bowel movements. That's it. It doesn't scrub toxins from your liver, purify your blood, or reset your metabolism. Your body already has an incredibly sophisticated detox system. It's called your liver and kidneys, and they're working 24/7 without any help from oils. When people talk about feeling cleaner or more energetic after taking castor oil, they're likely experiencing the effects of relieving constipation, which genuinely can make you feel better. But that's not the same as detoxification. And here's the concerning part most people don't know. Misusing castor oil can actually harm you. Taking too much can cause severe dehydration, painful cramping, dizziness, and in extreme cases, even hallucinations. Your intestines aren't meant to be constantly stimulated by laxatives, and doing so can disrupt your natural digestive rhythm. Yeah, it can get that bad. Claim 2. Rub on your belly button balances hormones. This one makes me chuckle a little, not because people who try it are silly, but because of how creative wellness marketing can get. The idea is that your belly button is somehow a direct portal to your hormonal system, and massaging castor oil there can balance everything from cortisol to estrogen. Okay, here's the reality. There are no scientific studies showing that topical application to your navel affects your hormones. The belly button doesn't have a special absorption pathway to your endocrine system. While your skin can absorb certain substances, there's no biological mechanism by which rubbing oil on your stomach would meaningfully impact hormone production. This claim often gets dressed up with references to Ayurvedic medicine. And while I respect traditional healing systems, we have to distinguish between cultural practices and clinical evidence. Ayurveda has valuable insights, but when influencers cite ancient wisdom as proof of hormonal benefits, they're probably mixing anecdote with evidence in ways that can be misleading. Claim 3. Castor oil packs over the liver, burn fat, and balance hormones. Castor oil packs are probably the most reasonable of the viral trends, but they're still being oversold. The practice involves soaking a cloth in castor oil, placing it over your abdomen, and applying heat, usually for 30 to 60 minutes. there is some small-scale evidence that castor oil packs might increase lymphatic circulation, which could theoretically help with inflammation and fluid movement. But, and this is a big but, there's no controlled research showing that this leads to fat burning or hormone balancing. The studies that exist are tiny and preliminary. We're talking about handfuls of participants, not the large-scale clinical trials needed to make bold health claims. When holistic wellness circles promote liver packs as fat-burning tools, they're extrapolating way beyond what the research actually shows. That said, some people do find castor oil packs relaxing and soothing. If you enjoy the ritual and it helps you unwind, that's valuable. All the best. Just don't expect it to melt belly fat or rebalance your endocrine system. Claim 4. Grow lashes, brows, and hair dramatically. I think at this point we should balance things up a little bit. Castor oil actually has some legitimate benefits, but they're being wildly exaggerated. Castor oil is a thick, viscous oil that can coat hair strands and reduce breakage. It also seals in moisture, which can make your existing hair look shinier and feel softer. So here's what that means in practice. If you have dry, brittle lashes or brows, castor oil might make them look fuller and healthier by preventing breakage and adding shine. But there's really no clinical evidence that it stimulates new hair growth from dormant follicles. Hair experts consistently point out that the most dramatic before and after photos show hair that's healthier and better conditioned, not necessarily more abundant. It's like the difference between having clean, styled hair versus bedhead. The same amount of hair can look dramatically different depending on its condition. There's also a weird side effect worth mentioning. In rare cases, heavy castor oil use on lashes has caused something called hair felting, where the hair fibers mat together into dense, tangled masses. So more isn't always better, even with something as seemingly harmless as eyelash oil. What it actually does. Now we've established this, let's talk about what castor oil can legitimately do, based on actual research. Clinically supported uses. First of all, castor oil is an FDA-approved stimulant laxative, as we said earlier in the video. It's genuinely effective for short-term constipation relief and is sometimes used in medical settings for bowel preparation before procedures. This isn't glamorous, but it's real, proven medicine. The oil also works as a moisturizer, meaning it creates a barrier that seals moisture into your skin. If you have dry skin, cracked heels, or rough patches, then yes, castor oil can definitely help by preventing water loss and softening the skin barrier. Lab and small-scale evidence. There's actually some legitimate research on castor oil's therapeutic properties, though it's mostly small-scale. A fascinating study on knee osteoarthritis found that topical castor oil performed as well as diclofenac sodium, a common anti-inflammatory medication in reducing pain, but with fewer side effects. The participants here applied castor oil 3 times daily for 4 weeks and experienced significant pain reduction. That's genuinely impressive. There's also research on castor oil's antimicrobial properties. A 2019 study found that topical castor oil reduced scalp fungus by about 60% over 8 weeks, which could explain why some people see improvements in dandruff or scalp irritation. Even more weirdly interesting, a preclinical study in mice suggested that ricinoleic acid, which is the main active compound in castor oil, might have anti-anxiety effects. The mice showed increased exploratory behavior and seemed less stressed. Now, mouse studies don't automatically translate to humans, but it's an interesting direction for future research, isn't it? The point is, castor oil isn't snake oil. It has legitimate therapeutic properties, but those properties are much more modest and specific than social media claims suggest. Warnings and safety concerns. Before you run out and buy a bottle already, let's talk safety, because even natural substances can, of course, cause problems when misused. For internal use, castor oil can cause severe digestive distress. We're talking painful cramping, explosive diarrhea, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalances. In cases of overdose, people have experienced dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and even hallucinations. This is definitely your body reacting to the powerful laxative. Pregnant women need to be especially careful. There's observational evidence that castor oil can induce labor within 24 hours in overdue pregnancies. While some midwives use this intentionally under medical supervision, taking castor oil during pregnancy without professional guidance could be dangerous. And here's something nobody talks about: castor oil stains. If you're doing overnight treatments, expect to sacrifice some sheets and pillowcases to the cause. Final take. So where does this leave us? Castor oil isn't worthless, of course, but it's not magic either. It can hydrate your skin, relieve constipation, and possibly help with localized pain or inflammation. Those are real valuable benefits. But it's not going to detox your organs, balance your hormones, or dramatically transform your health overnight. The viral claims circulating on social media are largely unsupported by research, and some of them could actually be harmful if you take them seriously. If you've tried castor oil and felt like it helped you, I'm not here to invalidate that experience. Our bodies are complex, and sometimes we feel better for reasons that are hard to pin down scientifically. Maybe you slept better because you felt like you were taking care of yourself. Maybe addressing constipation improved your energy levels. But let's be clear about what we're dealing with here. Castor oil is a modest therapeutic agent with specific, limited applications. It's not a cure-all, and treating it like one could lead to disappointment or even harm. My advice? If you want to try castor oil, start small. Patch test for skin reactions. Don't take it internally without talking to a healthcare provider first. And please don't expect it to solve complex health issues that probably require more comprehensive approaches. Most importantly, be skeptical of dramatic transformation stories on social media. Real wellness is usually slower, more subtle, and less photogenic than what goes viral. But it's also more sustainable and more likely to actually improve your life. If you've tried any of these castor oil trends, then I'd love to hear about your actual experience. Not just the highlights, but what really happened. All the fine details. So drop a comment and let's have an honest conversation about what worked, what didn't. And if this kind of content helps you make better health decisions, then make sure to subscribe for more evidence-based wellness insights. See you in our next video. And remember, the information provided in this video is for educational purposes only, and it's not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.